That's not right. Hello, beautiful peasants, and welcome in to another lovely day at the tavern. And yes, it is Strum Day. Alrighty, so I want to share it with y'all because it's funny and it's annoying. My mods are super annoying. Here is our super secret mod chat. You guys have seen this like 3 times. And here we are at 6 in the morning. Aloha. Sunday? Nothing. 10 a.m. Reaper. Stim? Satyr. Aloha and Reaper asking for streams. Mate. Well, how can we know if we don't ask? I think Mia has left us. It is now 11 a.m. Fun fact, I was asleep still. I don't know why I slept in so late today. I was just knocked out. I slept so freaking good though. Totally normal reaction, not overreacting at all at 11:15 here. And then finally within 10 minutes again, I just woke up. It's Strum Day. They're very happy. And I mentioned, I said so yesterday, and here's a screenshot from yesterday of me saying, oh look, Friday stream. Reaper Very Fair said, I have small brain. Have to use storage space for other things. So yes, that is why we call it Strum. Taverb though is just actually a misspelling. I did one time at the very, very end of a stream, and then the entire chat filled with Taverb. I'm like, you know what, fine, it's now the Taverb. So there you go. Oh look, we're starting. Hope y'all are doing well, having an enjoyable Friday. Yeah, the YouTube thumbnail is different. I got 3 or 4 different ones to pick from now, thanks to Ricky. Okay, I moved my light around because it's so overcast and dark, and I realized I pointed my light directly at me, and I hate it. So I'm gonna move my light really quick. I just have like this tower light. I need to get better lighting. Okay, move. There we go. I'm gonna be darker, but not blinded. There we go. I was like, what was I thinking? I am too pale to have a light directly on me. But yes, how are you guys doing? It is a good day here for 2 reasons. One, because the hair is hairing. We are super curly, super happy today and behaved, which is my favorite. And it's also hay day, so right after the stream, Ricky and I are loading up the trailer. Well, trailer will be empty, and we're driving it down to fill up with hay. We're gonna get about, I don't know, 80 bales, whatever 500 bucks gets me. So yeah, excited. Was the original tavern? It was, and that's why it's a Tavern Keeper's Craft, which I guess it should be Tavern Keeper's Craft. Yes. So yes. So yeah, it is Strum Day, and it is hay day, which doesn't happen very often. I only have 1 horse currently, so 80 bales should last us a hot minute. In winter, not so much. That won't last that long. He goes for like a bale a day in winter. He's a fat boy. Oh, he's better, by the way, y'all. That nasty abscess blue. We're good. We're good. He's like 80% better. Enough to where he doesn't care anymore, so we're good. It's so cool seeing all of you guys with the little badges next to your name. How is Empress the only person who still hasn't gotten a member? Oh, it's probably your account. You probably have a fancy account. That's okay. Still very cool. So we're going to start off today's stream with getting Pookie Bear done, which is this chibi bio-lich. Kickstarter is doing great. We're creeping up on $2,000, which is amazing. It's a more niche Kickstarter, so I know you guys probably wonder, it's like, what? I always just put the funding goal at 1,000, so you're like, it probably looks arbitrary. It's like, how do you know if it's doing well or not? If it hits funding. We have projections on our side of what it's actually going to do. We're pretty confident it'll hit 1,000, but past that, those are like our secret numbers. And for this Kickstarter, we're planning to take home around 2,500, and right now we're right on track for that. As far as what determines that, model count, variety. This one doesn't have any terrain or PCs / NPCs, which means like characters. So this Kickstarter really only appeals to collectors, painters, and DMs, which is a much smaller audience, but it's what we wanted to do. It sounded like fun, so that's how we did it. It is doing well though, again, and so we're gonna start releasing bonus models for that Kickstarter, including our little dude here. So yeah. In the Reaper mentioned, I have decided to restart their model they're working on in Blender of the truck and camper because it wasn't matching the style of my characters. I spent all night drawing what I wanted. Hey, good for you. That's what you gotta do. Whoa, member message from Aloha. What do you have to say? 9 months on the channel, 6 months as a Tavern lore keeper, 3 months as a fallen god. Who knows what's next for the Tavern? Well said. Well said. I'm glad you guys have those cute little messages. I think it's the coolest thing. I think Aloha is our only person with a gold star. I can customize those, by the way. And I probably will. So at some point, I will perhaps improve those. Reaper says now I can resume modeling, but it'll be faster. I honestly super encourage that. Like, when you're working on a project, especially if it's like your first time in that software or whatever, get to a point where you're like comfortable and then redo it. That's what I recommend when I'm like sculpting faces, practicing stuff like that. You'll learn so much faster and it'll come out better. Hey Micah, morning. Remember to like the stream. Thank you, thank you. Aloha has ascended. I'll show you guys that in just a moment here. We have a... Yeah. Hey, Cartelli's here. Hello, hi. I decided to greet like a normal person today. I like it. Beautiful. Good morning to all of y'all, though. I guess afternoon, technically. It is noon where I'm at. I don't know. I just say good morning until it's like 2. I'm gonna get this little guy finished up. I am undecided. I'm gonna add little like tears to his hat, hood, and whatnot. And then after that, we're going to work on a few different models today. We have the Barogas and the Earth Genasi. I'm not gonna work on them until they're finished, unless that happens. I'm gonna set like a timer, and that way we can kind of do a repeat of our 2 for Tuesday that completely fell apart with a, what is it? Fun Friday. Ugh, God, that reminds me of school. But no, seriously. 2 for Friday. It was going to be 2 for Wednesday. And then I didn't stream. And I didn't stream yesterday either. I do want to show you guys a little something. This was top secret until it was not top secret. So I complained about my mods, so now I must say nice things about my mods. Where am I going? There it is. Tavern Pets Season 1. Yes, we are not saving over files. Making its own file. Really, though. There we go. Alright, we're good. Alrighty. So, 2 things. 1, if you guys missed it, Aloha has ascended and is now a Tavern Pet. And this is what a Aloha looks like, obviously. I ended up doing 2, just because I like this one a lot, but I just wanted to push it a little bit. And I really like how it turned out. It's really cute. And I'm planning I'm going to do all of the mods at some point, but it was very fitting, of course, that Aloha was first. And so Aloha will be the special only mod as a Tavern Pet for a while. And then I am thinking that as we move along, perhaps I'll find something we can open up to making multiple different peasants, Tavern Pets. Who knows? It is you! Alright, and then the other thing I want to talk to you guys about was the Splendor. So this was a request from Foxy, and Foxy was shown at their table, and it's like a ridiculous request. It's like super, super long. We did a fun stream about it. It was a whole thing. I'm bringing it up to you guys right now because I had a bit of a art fart the other day, that being yesterday. Like, I was working on this and I was just kind of having a moment of existential dread. This is where we got at the end of that stream, kind of blocking things out. And this is why I did not stream what you're about to see. I set a timer on my little watch here for 30 minutes. I did that twice, which brings us to an hour. I'm bringing this up because like I got so much work done in an hour, and the only reason why I didn't stream it is because I felt guilty about it. I was like, I literally told my mods about this and was like, this is top secret, you can't say anything about this, which is super dumb. And I realize that now for talking with them. I put a lot into my work and a lot into my requests, and I never want anyone to feel like they're getting a hack job from me or something like shortchanged, right? Even though this request was insane, if I got it today, I would probably say no. But anyway, enough about that. Here is the reveal of what the Splendor ended up becoming. And again, we went from this, pretty much no forms, to, do I have it saved on here, or I'll just go to a quick save. Anyway, because if I were to do this on stream, it probably would have taken me like 3 different streams, I swear. But because, you know, it was just me and nobody was watching, I felt more comfortable to just get the model done. And this is what I was able to get done in 30 minutes from that point. And I think it's really important that I get out of my head a little bit and I'm able to do stuff like this on stream. I guess it's because I don't know, I have students watching, and to me, this is kind of like a hot mess of textures. I called it like Confusopoly, where it's like when you take a really messy sketch. And so sketches look good, or sketches look better than your line art usually, because your brain can kind of like choose the correct line, if that makes sense. And that's kind of what I did here, and I actually felt like kind of guilty about it. I don't know. And after, my mods were so freaking nice, all 3 of them jumped in and was like, hey, this looks really good. What are you talking about? And I was like, okay, you're right. And then after the fact, I was like, man, I really wish I could have done that on stream and showed that to you guys in that process. Because again, this happened in an hour. So even if you factor in a bunch of talking with you guys, this would have been an hour and a half. So it would have fit into a normal stream, like no problem. And you would have seen all this texture work. I used so many different techniques here. I used interpolate, I used patterns, I used roll, like a lot of really cool stuff on here. So I was like, oh man. The only reason I didn't stream that is because I was being, I feel like insecure isn't the right word. I got no problem owning that one, it's true. It was just in my head, I don't know. Like, this is like, oh, the sloppy work that you guys can't see. I know, isn't that stupid? I know, so I wanted to share it with y'all and be like, we're gonna do better. And by we, I mean me. Yeah. I get you. Although I mentioned harder model can need more focus and less chaos. Honestly though, I could have done it though. I really could have. Yeah. Emperor says, wow, that is a drastic update, right? And I feel like you guys haven't seen that from me on stream that often, and it would have been so cool to have shared that, but I didn't. So the next time I promise I will. Yeah. Gratelli says, yeah, that's great. It's a lot to pay attention to. I have trouble sometimes in the best environment. Sometimes you just need to shut out the noise. That's true. And I've been streaming for so long though that like, I can do that though. I can do both. Yes, you can get a look at those neck folds. Although I know you would dig that, and I'll show you how I did it too. So here's the bottom of that neck here. And then here's the top. And I'm sure Aloha is like, the heck, how did you do that? Would you believe me if that was done in like 2 button clicks? Let me show you really quick. So all I did was for the neck, I created a perfectly straight cylinder, and then I used bend curve after the fact to pose it. So I had something like this, and then I grabbed a brush from Flip Normals, but you do not have to at all. I'll grab something that's already in ZBrush that you don't have to pay for. I'm looking for like a spike or something of that nature. Yeah, this would probably look coolish, honestly. But yeah, I just had symmetry turned on. Where is symmetry? There it is. And I clicked at the top, I clicked at the bottom, and then number 8 on my keyboard, and it just did it for me. Bam! And that's how I did the neck. If you're like, what the heck just happened? Okay, it tore through the back because of backface mask, but it looks really cool. So that is called interpolate. That's a function under the stroke menu here, right here. You can adjust the count, you can adjust the last or the first one after the fact. Isn't that cool? And how it acts in between. It's a really powerful function. If you're not using it, you should be. Again, that's just number 8 on your keyboard for the hotkey. So yeah, I thought you guys would enjoy that, and that's how I got the neck done. So I can actually show you guys little like progress stamps at the end of each 30 minutes because I do remember what I was doing. So at the first 30 minutes, my goal was just to detail the whole thing. So this is where I started. I immediately deleted the neck because of this big curve on it, which isn't very posable. And then after that, again, this is the first 30 minutes. We can kind of do a little walkthrough after the fact. I think the first 30, yeah, here we go. My first 30 minutes, I was just trying to get this thing detailed. That's what I was most focused on. So I think at this point, this is after the first 30 minutes. Yes, so you can see that neck I mentioned just perfectly straight. And then I just kept copying and pasting the legs and smushing them around to get that texture. I bridged together other textures. So this right here is kind of a nice texture. It's actually default in ZBrush. It's called Pattern 02, Why not 01? I don't know. And interesting with pattern, when you go from top to bottom, like left to right, it looks like this. And then if you kind of like skew your camera and drag in the opposite direction, sometimes you can like stretch it weird. And that's how I accomplished, of course now I can't do it. That's how I got this like stretchy texture here. But yeah, that was in the first 30 minutes. And then after that, I went with posing. I picked 3 different forms I thought were interesting. So I used this little like ridge texture, like a petal, and then that pattern right here. So those were my 2 primary forms I was trying to incorporate through the whole thing. And then I used like noise modifiers to kind of be like my third, if that makes sense. So yeah, and then we went from this to the final pose in 30 minutes. That's how we got here. Yeah. And then I just used the bend curve for the neck and the bend curve for the tail, and then smushed around the little feeties. And then we got this handsome fellow. So yes. Does it respect back face mask? Yes. Yes, it does. Because it's not, interpolate is just repeating the brush strokes you did. So if you apply a brush stroke with back face mask, it will respect that. Good question. I do appreciate how sweet you guys are. We're like, oh, I totally get you needed to focus. You know, it's a much more complicated model. And I'm telling you guys, like, no, I deprived the peasants. I could have done this on stream for sure. The only reason why I couldn't is because I was in my own head. And I was like, I can't show them this heathen work and work process because it's so, like, I don't know. To me, it feels like thrown together, you know. But I realize now that it was not. So yes. Hello, Paint. Welcome in. What the fuck is that? This is the Slender from Foxy's request. I'm glad you like it. Yes, absolutely. Interpolate plus a cool texture or small form into bend curve is a really new trick to add to the belt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nice base on that one. Thank you. I used the same base from the Hodag that we did, the Hodag Cryptid, and I just stretched it out and then did some of this, like, whoop, throwing my pen, some of this fungus texture here. And that was it. But very nice. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, last but not least, and you know what? I'm actually not going to talk about it until it's relevant. Never mind. Nope. Just kidding. Nothing's happening. Moving on to getting Pookie Bear done, which is our Tower Pet of the BioLich. This is Aloha, my bad. I just want to show off Aloha, I guess. There we go. And this will be releasing on our Kickstarter that's live right now. All right, so I like to break the symmetry just a tiny bit, but nothing too crazy. These chibis I like to be pretty simple. This one especially, I might not mind being pretty symmetrical. Just right now his head's kind of falling off his body, so we're gonna scoot him back a little bit. And then I'm probably gonna put a little tombstone on the base. There we go. Like cute little guy. If you guys are curious what model this is a baby form of, I should probably show that to you. I don't even have my own Kickstarter bookmarked. Book of these. Yeah, so this is our project that's live right now. Oh, it's gonna be that big apparently. There we go. As I mentioned, we're creeping up on $2,000. There is a $1 tier if you guys want to be part of it, but you are small money. I totally get it. Or if you're like, you literally just did a project, here's your $1. That works too. But yeah, in the center here is Pookie Bear. He's all the way at the bottom. I'm writing stat blocks for every single one of these. Here he is. So that's what this baby version is we're working on right now, and this model will release for free to anyone who backs. And also, of course, they're all test printed at 28mm scale. Looks pretty gorgeous. Like this model right here is right here. So yes. If you don't have a printer, we actually do have a printed tier for once, but only if you live in the United States. Otherwise, no shipping. Sorry. So yes. Let's get this textured. I think I want to add some little cuts out of this. Make it more interesting. It is true. I have placed a ban on any orders 3D prints to Aloha's location. It's true. Sorry, Aloha. Also, you have a 3D printer. So, like, I highly doubt you would have backed that tier anyway, because 3D printer. But yes, it's fun to complain about anyway. I still felt bad. You literally bought a 3D printer before I ever sent you a print. Shame. All right, I want to add some wear and tear to the front, but not the back of it. So I just made a poly group, cut through that, and then use a knife brush. I don't know if the knife brush works if something is hidden, so we're gonna find out together. It does not. It does not work if there is something hidden. But it made its own poly group, I guess. That's cool. Will that go away? I mean, cool, but is it gonna close holes all stupid? Yeah, that defeats the whole purpose. All right, so what we're gonna do instead is we're going to add a seam to this. Hashtag probably deserved it. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're gonna close holes. Is that gonna be done? It is. Ooh. Okay, if it's gonna fight me too much, we're not gonna add wear and tear because this is just a cute little chibi fun model. We do not need to go insane with it. So we'll instead add some secondary textures, I think. There we go. Oh, Shiitake is here. Good morning. Hello, hello. And welcome back. Right now I am just putting some final touches on this cutie patootie. Undecided on how I want to tackle this. Yeah, it needs a couple little tears. We don't have to go crazy with it. But I feel like this really adds a lot. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just being cute with the camera angle here to get the results I want without having to do a bunch of extra work. Will it respect the mask brush? I'm curious. No. The knife brush, see, this is the thing with like ZBrush. I think it's so cool, but like, why, if you don't respect hidden topology or masking, that limits the brush severely. You know what I mean? That's okay. Oh, well. Almost done with this, and that will put us out of Doors Open and straight into Tavern Keeper's Craft. It's pretty much a repeat of our 2 for Tuesday, where I got 1 for nothing. Which again is fine because I ended up taking my time this week to work on other projects. It really worked out. There we go. Cute. I knew it needed these little tears. Because I really can't add a bunch of like super small fray details on this because it breaks the law of chibi, which is no fine details, you know? You can add details, but it's like if I put individual strands of fur all over this monkey. Like, it's just odd. Shiitake says, oh man, if I saw these as blind boxes, my wallet would not be safe. I'm gonna write that down. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. That'd be a really fun Kickstarter tier for the peasants. I wrote that down. Thank you. Yeah, an M3DM mystery tapper pet in a box. How cute would that be? Oh, John said it first. Okay, John said it first, and then so did Shiitake and Aloha. Good for all of you guys. Business. I like it. I wrote it down. All right, I don't know what to do with his arms because I need some distance between his arms and his wings, so that way this reads more clearly. It's pretty good as is. You know, the arms and the wings are just going to be really close together, and that's fine. That's just what he looks like. That's just what he looks like. Oh, this happens every now and then. You guys see this? How like it's destroying itself. Just mirror and weld. It'll fix it. And if you had subdivision levels, well, now you don't. Sorry. I almost read that out loud, Aloha, but I didn't. I've learned to screen Aloha comments before I read them on stream. Vitaly says, sorry for the off-topic questions. No, I love that. But do you stream straight to YouTube or restream from Twitch or Discord or something? Straight to YouTube. I do not stream on Discord because you really can't stream on Discord. It's a voice channel, and then everybody that joins, it automatically puts them in a voice channel with their mic, and I'm like, that's traumatic and annoying. So yeah, and I don't stream on Twitch for no real reason. Is there an update on my games? Ooh, Monster Hunter. Okay. I might stream on Twitch at some point. Honestly, y'all, I'm not very impressed with Streamlabs. It's so inconsistent. The bot works like half the time, as you guys know. However, a lot of the features that we use are only available through Streamlabs on YouTube. Otherwise, Stream Elements is better, just hands down from what I've read, but it really only supports Twitch. And I don't want to lose any of you guys when I move to Twitch, because not that I am moving to Twitch, because I like you guys. So yeah. Cortelli, yeah, no thanks on open mics. Right? Like, even if you join, just mute yourself immediately. Like, it only takes one person to, like, forget and then eat a bag of chips, and I'd be like, alright, taverns close. Fun fact, I hate food noises. Like, violently. Fun fact over. Alright. This cutie patootie is done. Once I put his arms in his little sockets. Come here. I am going to have the hands... Oh, I don't want that to go through his head. That looks painful. Never mind, he's not done yet. He's being impaled. Or, no, that's just the way those look. Just kidding. I do think this looks better. Kind of pulled down his back a touch, though. And then I will scoot these forward. Yes, extra spiky. More drama. Very good. Oh, he's so cute. Very nice. All right, let's get this merged down, post-process, and sent over to Ricky. Do you guys think I should add a little tombstone onto his base? It'd be really easy to do. Ooh, I merged it down. Oh my goodness, I had this hidden in the background. I forgot about it. There you go. There's the two side by side. The original that I sculpted, and then our cute little guy. If you guys are wondering, like, this model right here was done completely on stream. So, that was one of the models that was, like, objectively made better because I live streamed it. You guys were super helpful. There we go. And let's get this decimated down. He's just a cutie patootie, so he does not need to be super high poly. Little guy. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out with me on this Friday. I'm sorry I missed 2 days of streaming. Again, it happens. I am getting super caught up. To be fair, for the last couple of weeks, I was volunteering on Thursday. I was being a good citizen. Camp is over though, so volunteering is done. John said, wow, 18 of them. That'd be such a complete blind box set. Perfect for collector, hinted. I even have a season 2 going too. Yeah, we need to capitalize on that more. As of now, we're kind of just tucking them in as bonuses onto certain Kickstarters, but I will make it a whole set at some point. The blind boxes is brilliant. It really is. In the US, we can get shipping really cheap, so I could do $15 probably, free shipping, US only. I'm sorry, I used to do international shipping, but like, dude, shit breaks and you have to pay for it again when you pick it up, and I just think that's crazy. I don't know. It sounds like y'all are used to that over there, but how Mia talks about me. Lore accurate. Yeah, low-key it is. You are a menace, though. Is that up for debate right now? Not up for debate. Alright, it's not wanting to post-process. We're gonna try again. Come on. Do the thing. John says, Mia, I am such a crackhead for blind boxes. That is so fun. Well, because it's like mini gambling. I get it. I'd have to be careful with that though, because I would hate if I sent you guys the same box. I'd probably just change it each month and make sure I'd have a different one. I could offer that as a physical reward on Patreon. Never done that before. You guys are so good at business. What is this? There should be a 1 in 100 chance you get a golden moo. I think that's a fantastic idea. Look, guy. I need to do a sculpt with me on one of these little tower pets because I know you guys would enjoy it. Hello, Foxy. Welcome in. I did the whole like splendor reveal and it got very philosophical. Where were you? The splendor came out great. And it was a good opportunity for me to get out of my own head. So, yes. I talked to my mods about it yesterday because I was like, I felt bad that I like just got the model done yesterday. I don't know, like I wasn't as detail oriented as I could be or something like that. I don't know. I was just feeling bad about it. My mods were super sweet and Reaper especially vouched for you. It was like, Foxy literally didn't know. They're just gonna be happy you did it. It was very nice. Oh, I don't like when it does that. We're gonna be less annoying about that. There we go. Knife brush for the win. Ooh, that's a weird thing we got going on there. Are you not gonna post-process right now? Are you gonna be a pain in the booty? That's okay. I will win. That's fine. Okay, that wasn't a big deal at all. All right, I'm going to add a tombstone to the base because I think that'd be really cute. And it's really easy to make a tombstone. We're gonna import a cylinder, flip it 90 degrees, mask just the bottom of it here, pull straight down, flatten the bottom again, and ta-da, you have made a tombstone. Amazing. And if you're like, my tombstone is boring, okay, you can make it a nicer tombstone you can dynamesh it and then come through with your turn dynamic or whatever and start adding some like wear and tear. Again, this is like a chibi, so I really don't want this to be too insane looking. We're gonna add some really fancy script to this in doodle language. Oh wait, can I put years? I'm like 2025, no. Circle, just kidding, it's getting too detailed. All right, scribble language done. And then we'll kind of just boop, throw that on the base. Just like that. Fox said, ooh, when? Earlier in the stream? Yes, yes. And Foxy's like, yeah, no pressure from me. I know, you were super cool about it. I just, I chronically do my best. Yeah. I could put my logo on it. I do have that, and thanks to you. Fox says, but Mia, I have had to change character in the campaign. Oh no, you're fine. I mean, you weren't playing the Splendor, so it wouldn't affect you, right? All right, we're gonna mirror this on the other side. There we go. Because that fits a little better. Lovely. Oh, just a cutie patootie. I like it. I'm going to scoot it around just a touch to make the composition a little nicer. There we go. Just minor stuff. Not multi-slice. I don't even know what that does. Fox says, Mia, I wasn't playing the Splendor, but I could be petty. Foxy, you're welcome to rewind the stream if you want to, but if you don't, just let me know and I'll pull up the Splendor for you. It turned out very, very cool. And my mods were very, very sweet to me because again, I felt bad that it wasn't, I don't know, word for word. I don't know. I got over myself. I'm very proud of it. Allow says, I feel like you should have your logo on each one, maybe inset slightly on the bottom of the bases. Could also have the name of the chibi under it with the number in the set. Kind of like a serial number of a collectible. It's very smart. Thank you. I wrote that down too. I like. Fox says, I will rerun later. Otherwise, I'll miss out on shenanigans. What? Shenanigans? Here? Never. All right, here is our cutie patootie. He is going to be sent off to Mesh Mixer now. I'll call this A. Let's call this B. But Mesh Mixer and measuring is boring. So I should probably just skip that. But I'm not going to because I know you guys like learning stuff. So I put it in the Mesh Mixer just to double check that there are no mesh errors and that kind of nonsense. And what do you mean by mesh errors? That just means like if there's a hole in the model or vertex is overlapping another one, that kind of thing. Honestly, unless your model is hollow, it's gonna 3D print. I do this so people don't have a heart attack, especially people that are new to 3D printing. Litchi especially will like scream and act like your model's gonna blow up your printer. If that was the case, wow, that's a little too big. I would not have a 3D printer by now, so don't worry. Aloha, who is new to 3D printing, was super sweet and mentioned the same thing to me, just being like, I was so worried about getting this right, and oh my god, everyone made such a big deal about this. This is like no big deal. So if you're on the fence about getting a 3D printer because you're afraid you're gonna break it, you're not. Get a 3D printer. Oh my goodness. And it's not gonna poison you either. Just don't drink the resin or lather it on like lotion. My god. But if you don't have anywhere to put your 3D printer that's like other than like your room, it's too stinky for that. Whether it's going to kill you with toxic fumes or not, it's just not enjoyable to be around. So yes. All right, here is our Pookie Bear. He is super cute. I think he's a little gigantic. We're gonna make him a little bit smaller. I don't remember how big the other ones were. I will need to check that before this gets delivered. These are obviously not 28mm scale. These are whatever I want scale. They are on a 25mm base, so it's gonna be on the base will be the exact same size. But obviously the character is not proportionate to 28mm because these are cuties. You guys should be charging a consulting fee. Don't give them any ideas. All right. Oh yeah, FDM are fantastic, especially now. Even though our business being minis is more resin oriented, my Bamboo Lab is my favorite printer ever. So, all right, this will be Taverb Pet. What do I call this? Biomech Lich. There we go. All done. Hello, Adamus. Slowly hides bottle of resin lotions. Oh my god. Amazing. John said, Mia, I was told I would need a wash station as well for a 3D printer. Is that the case? It's nice for resin, but you don't need one. It's a lot nicer. I mean, you're gonna have to have little bowls or vats or something of IPA anyway. But it's a lot cheaper to just have like a Tupperware with, okay, if it's Tupperware, don't eat out of it ever again. But anyway, it's easier to just have like a bucket with IPA in it than pay for a wash station, obviously. But it's a lot more convenient, don't get me wrong. Especially if you live somewhere that's cloudy, you have to have a UV lamp of some sort. Mia, who is this mystery ref model? Is this John Resin himself? You were correct. No, that is one of the first models I ever sculpted. Just a farmer from my, townsfolk collection. All right. Everything that releases on Kickstarter does come out on Patreon at some point as well. So this little dude will be coming out on Patreon. All right. Tavern Pet. Biomech Lich. There we go. Amazing. Hello to Sharky. I don't know if you're new or if you've been here just not many times. I'm not certain. Either way, welcome in. And make it a game that I can like remember who has been here before or not. Within reason. Alrighty, so we're done with this. I do want to show the Splendor to Foxy just real quick. This is how it turned out. Monstrous, awful, really cool, super detailed. So yes, very proud of that. Yeah. All right, and then next up, it's going to be Tavern Keeper's Craft. I can either work, oh, that's a really ugly render. Oh God. That's the best preview render by default if you don't change any of the settings. Oh, ZBrush, and that's why I always come down here. These ones do a better job. Gnarly with a K, I like it. Gnarly. I'm glad you like it. Alrighty. We can either work on the Earth Genasi or the gross barrow gas zombie. I'm not sure which one to do. Sharky said, thanks, just got to the stream, randomly popped up to me, or proposed to me. Love your content, sub. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot, I do. All right. I'm thinking what I'm gonna work on. Thinking. Oh, there's a new sub, yeah. It just takes a second. Thank you, Sharky. I just didn't believe you until then. I'm joking. All right, so this is the zombie, which is super not done, and it looks really dumb right now. I would like to get this looking nice and like something, so we're gonna work on this. Wow, this is really boring and weird. All right. Yes, M-star. Cretelli says, I vote gross, whether the vote counts or not. We were in sync. You have gross. It is a barrow gas zombie, specifically female and vomiting. So that's what we're doing. We just put in those little intestines and now it's time to bring the rest of this to life. The goat in the hand is not going to be there. That was because of a chaos spin. Oh, speaking of, that is a thing. That is a thing. All right, so we are allowing the Wheel of Chaos, and we do have a model right now, so that is allowed. Here's a Wheel of Chaos. It's $5 to spin. Or whatever teal super chat is for you. God, it's like they couldn't have picked a lamer name. Like I know they can't say just like donation, but every time I say super chat, a piece of me dies. It just, whatever. Anyway, teal, it's $5 and you get to spend a bunch of nonsense on here and it will affect the sculpt live. So yes, that is active now if you wanted to do so. If not, just kick back. I'm sure chaos will happen either way. All right, I want to work on the face because the face is just a big nothing burger right now. And I would like for it to be a something burger. We're gonna scoot her on over here and zoom in on this face. Mia stole my wheel. I really did. Aloha did a really nice summer art festival for us and I just clicked on that and clicked edit and was like, bam, take, take, take. Also, I did say thank you. I did. Reaper says, Mia, call it a Tavern Pet goal. Oh, that is true. Yeah, so it's $5 to spin the wheel. It does go towards a big pool. Once we hit, it says 35. 30 or 35. We do need Tavern Pet. So yes, there you go. Now you know what's going on. We're gonna work on this face because again, it is a nothing burger. All right, I got some references. Let's get this looking interesting. I'm gonna keep the hair visible because I think it's gonna play into the way I shape this face. We're gonna sculpt it in symmetry, and the first thing we're gonna do is open up her mouth. I'm going to use Move Topological to kind of pull this forward. I want her to look gross and gnarly, but not unreadable. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start mapping out just the general proportions of her face here. Kind of pulling this nose up. And then I think I'm going to have the eyes be kind of droopy and the brow coming down. It's going to look like she is both yelling and vomiting. It's going to be gross. I don't know what happened to her upper palate here. We're going to just mask that out and delete that. There we go. We will give her upper teeth in a second. How did I get the vomit? That was using a mask splat brush. Pretty darn cool. Left for Dead female boomer. Beautiful. Let's see if our poly paint's gonna work or not. It's been really weird on this specific model because I built it with ZBuilder, which means just for today, I think we're gonna be colorless. Sad. It happens. Speaking of, I did fix ZBuilder and the problems we saw last time. And the fix was very, very complicated. I just reinstalled it. That's it. Seriously, if you ever have problems with your software, chances are, have you tried just reinstalling the software? It usually fixes it. We're going to start constructing these eyelids. I'm going to be sculpting this in using my damn standard brush and standard and kind of going back and forth. It's monstrous, so I don't have to be as careful with it. I can kind of just be heavy-handed and have some fun with it. We will need to give her some teeth, but not yet. I'm gonna use a clay brush as well to start building up some forms here. Clay is really fun because it puts on a lot of material really quickly. And especially with the monster sculpt, you can let it be messy. Just have fun with it. I'm a little higher res than I need to be right now, but I kind of like that it's grabbing all of the texture that clay is putting down. Because it is just gonna be a messy sculpt. I'll probably turn some of these into boils and various ick. Hello, says Mia. I have no idea how my ZBrush is broken. I've never had problems with it before, but when I use it, no matter the number I scale, it always goes like 2 million points and shatters the mesh. It's funny you say that, because yesterday I was doing ZBrush by union, and it did the same thing. Like, I couldn't get ZBrush to work by union, and I even put in like 2 spheres, and that didn't work either. It was very, very weird. I turned off my computer entirely and restarted it, and then I took the tool I had and put it in a new tool, and then I reset the scene scale. So I went to Deformation Unify, and that fixed it. So I hope that fixes it for you, but uncanny you're talking about that, because I literally had like pretty much the same problem yesterday. It was wild and unenjoyable. I have a conspiracy that they're just making older versions of ZBrush not work, which is not true. I'm just being silly. All right, so everything's really square and blocked off right now. I'm going to fine tune the expression and the forms here in a bit, and I do need to add teeth. Hello said, cool, I will try all of those. I hope it works. And if not, you can send me the Z tool or the ZPR, I don't care. And I can load it on my side and try some things out. Sometimes it's faster just to try it on my side than tell you what to do. And remember, you can always do that because you are literally a mentorship student. Sometimes I forget that because you're so low maintenance. All right, we're gonna create some eyelids from the eyeballs because the sculpting is just making it look really chunky. So here's how I do eyeballs. I duplicate the eyelids. Oh my God, sorry. I make eyelids from eyeballs, okay? Eyeball, duplicate. We mask a top and a bottom section here. Polish by features, so it's not all jagged. See the jagged? You don't want that. Polish by features. Close holes and ZBrush by half. And now you have a nice low poly, do it again, top eyelid. There you go. And if you're like, well, I can't see it, that's fine. That's part of it. You need to make it a little bit larger. There you go. So why do I make eyelids a separate subtool? It just gives you a lot more control. Otherwise, it starts becoming like this lumpy mess, which is okay to do. Just do a little bit of both is what I recommend. There we go. Wonderful. See how much better that looks? Yeah. Isn't she cute? That's how that... I'm gonna grab these eyelids, merge them down, and subdivide a few times. Gorgeous. I'm going to sculpt on these eyelids too. And just kind of make the edge of this a little more clear. Eyelids are a lot thicker than you probably think. That's a big mistake I see with my students all the time, where they will smush them down and they're like super crazy thin. I can't even do it. Ah. And they'll be like, there, that's my eyelid. And I'm like, actually it doesn't look that bad. There. There. All I'm saying is like build up those forms more than you might expect. Especially for 3D printing. You want these to be nice little paint catchers. Well, I say I've made some nice improvement from here to here in just a few minutes. There we go. This upper lip is gonna haunt my dreams, so let's fix that. If you're a 3D artist and you're watching and you're trying to learn and see what's going on, I know it can kind of seem like things are really slow and then they happen all at once and you're like, what? Ask questions. I have no problem like repeating what I did or breaking it down. Yeah. That's what helped me learn the most, was watching other people's streams. But I was too shy to ask a single question. I literally had never ever said anything in the chat. So it will require you to be brave or get some telepathy going. I recommend just leaving a comment. Oh yes, I also teach. Thanks, Paint. That's a thing too. I have a mentorship program. It's $1 a day, unless you want business advice, then it is not $1 a day. There we go, just sculpting some teeth, and she does not have any teeth on top. So I can put those in using a brush, or I think I could just sculpt them in, because she's gonna have really screwed up teeth anyway. So I'm just gonna use my mask brush, and I'm gonna just mask the shape of some teeth. Just a couple. She doesn't need a lot. And we're gonna just pull that straight down. Oh, cute. That worked out really well. Great, we have some teeth now. Very good. Yeah, that's about what I wanted. I'm gonna use Move Topological so I can grab just one at a time and I can make them kind of different heights. I love working on gross models. Oh my goodness, it's such a relief. Yeah, this is what I do sometimes, and I know that. Where I'm like, okay guys, we're making a sculpt today. We're gonna do the face. It's done. Draw some circles, draw the rest of the fucking owl. So if that happens, again, it's not like a teaching stream, but I want you guys to have tools. You know what I mean? It can be both. Kertelli says, I need business advice more than anything else. I am terrible at business. Okay, the tier isn't live, but if you are interested in that, again, it's not cheap, but it's because okay, I'm a brief story time here. I have a few students that are going like into the business like world, and I started with them about 3 to 4 months ago, and every single student that I've given business advice to has made more money and has better work ethic. And again, it's not a huge sample size, but it's 100% right now. So I'm like, okay, I should charge more for this. It's gonna be $50 a month once I get that tier posted. But I'm very, very proud of that every student that I've had that asked me business advice and followed it immediately had success. Although it's one of my success stories, and for a lot of reasons. Yeah, I do little to no teaching. Matt, the Forge of Many Things, is one of them. Yeah. Sater says, Mia, as one of your marketing advisors, that was a bad sales pitch. Oh no, I'm trying. There we go. Now that is a much better sales pitch. Only $50? Is $50 a month still too cheap? I don't know. That's expensive. No, the tier doesn't even exist right now. Oh my god, Aloha's being so sweet. Aloha, stop it. You did my champion tier, my Kickstarter last month too. Like, you're fine. You're so fine. Of all people. Well, that's it. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Cries. It's not real yet, but I will make it real. Aloha just cries. You're right. No business for you anymore, Aloha. You are now businessless, officially. I'm really proud of this face. Damn. That came together well. I'm also looking into the idea of, instead of doing like a subscription on Patreon, also doing like one-time payment of like boot camps, kind of. This is what I think sounds like a fun time. You have a break, how about an art boot camp? But no, seriously. And I was thinking one of the first ones I did would be about like finding your like art style and learning how to like love your art. It's very cheesy, but like that is the sole reason I think why I am able to create as much as I do. But I'm just toying with it. That and doing like little like sandbox projects. That was Aloha's idea. I got so many things that I want to do. And because I'm like starting to get caught up on all my projects, I can actually start like thinking about them, which is awesome. So right now I'm just adding a lot of texture using the clay brush. It might look kind of random, but it is not. I do know what muscle groups are happening here, and they're going in a certain direction. I don't mind if it's noisier. Yes, those are eyeballs, by the way. We haven't put in eyeballs into the eye sockets yet. But anyway, just knowing like where fat accrues and that kind of stuff. And then because this is supposed to be monstrous, not just a fat person. My goodness, that alone does not make it monstrous. Say it louder in the back. Anyway, I really want to be especially heavily textured and porous. There we go. Also, this texture that I'm doing here paints so freaking well. Oops, I just covered up all that delicious knee detail. Can't have that. There we go. Gorgeous. Paint says, being a consultant for artists is an amazing market for 3D mini makers. It's true. I really would want students that I like. I don't know. There are some, I feel like if I opened it up and was like too good of a, like if I push it too hard, there's some people that are like making minis that are just so business driven that they like forget why they chose art in the first place. I don't know. But granted, I can always tell someone too, if I'm like, I don't think I'm a good match for them, I could just tell them that. So you're right. There's nothing to worry about there. Yeah, right? Paint, I get you. Oh my god, Curtelli just touched a great point here, and this drives me crazy. Yeah, I don't know about you. I trust you, so this is not directed at you, but I'm wary of people that sell business coaching. Most of them are like, let me tell you how I make money with my art. And they don't. They just sell the idea of making art, or like making money with your art. It's like art businessception. It's so obnoxious. Like, I know what you're talking about, Curtelli, and I hate that. It is just an expensive course on how to make art. Yeah, no. I remember I did like a deep dive on that one time because they were like, oh, how to make your art from 0 to hero in like 30 days or some crap. And then like I went to look at where do they sell prints and stuff, and not 3D prints, but they were digital artists. And I'm like, bitch, you don't make any money on your art. You just make money on selling the idea that other people can sell their art, which is terrible. And I think super like predatory and crappy. I don't know. Made me mad. That's why I would only ever give advice and like, again, coaching, whatever you call it. I don't even know how to call it, to people that are exactly in my space, because otherwise, why would I have it? Like, don't listen to anybody that's selling advice on something that they're not doing. Like, if someone was like, hey, I want to go into industry as a game artist, I'd be like, I cannot help you. Do not pay. Like, nope. that's not what I do. So I can't give business advice. I can teach you more about sculpting and how to improve your art, and that will in turn help you. But if you want to get into the business space selling 3D models, that's what I do. So that's why I can offer that. Otherwise, that's not very fair. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. I love it. If you want to make money with your art, here's all you need. Buy my brush packs, buy my face mesh, buy my outfits, then make art. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. But I get that everyone's trying to make a buck, but like when you tell somebody, you guys know I'm really big on like under promise and over deliver, and that's the opposite of that. So yes, I don't want to rant at you guys too much, though I think you guys like when I do that. Oh my goodness, this model is crusty and gross. I like it. I think one of the, what I helped Matt with the most, the Forge and Mini things, other than just like, hey, here's like what thumbnails would work better. Here's why your images aren't as clear. These are things that will help. Here's a price point. Here's how I do my price points. Was more just about like, not work ethic, because he works really hard, but like knowing when to call a model good and knowing when, like where that line is. Because if you just get into pure business mode of just pushing out models, you are like not, as I put it, feeding like your art soul, and you're going to burn out. But if you, it's just a butt crack right here. Anyway, if you spend all of your time on one model, you're not going to make any money on that. So it's like, how do you find, you know, the flow or the balance between those points? That's what I think has helped him the most. All I know is that when he started my program with me, he was making like 2 to 3 models a month, and now he can do that in a week. And I'm feeling really good about that. Granted, he's the kind of person that is like very teachable and doesn't take anything personal. So there definitely have been calls I've had with Matt where I'm like, why isn't this done? And he's like, I just have excuses. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that you recognize that. Not a big deal. On to the next week. But some people I could see throwing a fit and having a meltdown. So you have to be a certain kind of person. Yeah, I agree. Empress says, I'm so glad Mia is the way she is. That's just a nice comment. People who buy brushes who have zero clue how to incorporate them into their work, nothing is just drag and drop. Exactly. And I don't know when art became this pitch of, if anyone is trying to pitch art to you as like a get rich quick scheme, that's insane. That's insane. Remember starving artists. Remember that. That's much more likely. Also, you don't have to monetize your art. You can just make art. You can just have fun. Oh, goodness. Critelli says, I'm trying to turn my therapist into an ad hoc business coach. I like it. And then Critelli says, no, I do have to. Have to what? Have to make art off your, make art off your money. Ha! Make money off your art. That is stressful. And it's a complicated problem, right? Like I've heard that like many times, stuff like that many times, where it's like I haven't gotten an interview for anything in like 2 years, and yes, I've gotten coaching on that too. And that's the thing. There's so many variables on all of this, right? And what it comes down to, it's like marketable skill set. If you can't make a company money, why would they hire you? And that's what it comes down to, right? Which is like brutal and super tricky. So you go to school, spend a bunch of money to get said marketable skill set, and then you go out into the world, and the world's like, hey, it's not a marketable skill set. And you're like, what? I could see it like that. That's very frustrating. Like one of my good friends, Ella, she has a master's in, marine biology. And like when she went out into the world with her master's in marine biology, she like could not get a job in what she wanted at all. And she was like, just felt super like lied to and bitter, and she should, you know? It's tricky out there. And I do not have the answers for that. No, I do not. Paint says, Mia, I started your class because I love 3D models for wargaming and D&D minis. I love painting, I love this community, and for being true with art. Oh, I love that. That's a great reason to be here. Foxy says, except for me, I don't make company money. I spend company money. That's awesome. Kurtali says, I think the main problem is that I'm older, 43, and I work for myself for too long. I get that. I mean, maybe I'm too young to say that. I turned 29 in a few months, but anyway, I always joke that I'd make a terrible employee. Like, I want to work hard, I want to do my thing, and I want to be left alone when I do said thing. I work great with people, I do. But I don't work great with people when we're both holding the same hammer. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what a lot of, like, work environments is like, and I don't need that. Okay, someone's enjoying the rant. Thank you, Destoria. Destoria. Oh, goodness. Duke says the Navy is always looking for marine biologists. I could not see my friend working anywhere in the military at all, or even as a civilian, but you are correct. Fun fact, I looked very, very seriously into NOAA Corps and doing that, and I would just be on a boat. But then I was like, oh wait, I love my husband and being home, so I did not. All right, she's looking cute. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the business talk and whatnot. I'm really enjoying it too. If someone's feeling burned out, I'm sorry. But if you have like I'm feeling generous and open right now. If y'all want to ask some questions about it, let me know. I wouldn't mind trying to answer some hard-hitting questions right now. Here's something important to know though. Asking an answerable question is really hard. So if you ask something and I'm like, that's not answerable, I'll explain why. For example, if you ask me how to make money with art, that's not answerable. But if you ask, what are some platforms I could sell 3D models on in this category? That's specific, that is answerable. Does that make sense? I'm actually gonna make this a thing. I'm gonna grant the chat 3 wishes, or 3 like hard-hitting business questions, and after that I'm gonna move on, or at that point I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. I'll reassess. There we go. Great one, Aloha. If business, win business. If yes, make money, art big, spend lots of dirt. Actually, yes. So in English, Aloha is referring to the fact that I'm going to take all the money I made with art and then buy a house with a lot of dirt, which in other words, land. Beautiful. Oh my god. This is so accurate, and this is why I would go insane. That's a great meme. Devastating meme. Yeah. Something I really love about this community is that I've been streaming long enough with y'all. I mean, it hasn't even been a year, but long enough to where I'm comfortable to say what I actually think, which is a beautiful thing. And not every creator can do that, and I understand that. I used to be worried about, I don't know, offending somebody and losing someone that's watching, and now I realize sometimes, I don't know, if you're saying an opinion and nobody is getting upset or disagreeing, not upset, but disagreeing in any way, your opinion is probably a big nothing burger, you know? So it's okay if people disagree. Yeah. Aloha, so if I am friend-shaped, then why no friends? Aloha, you have so many friends. If art were money, I like that too. Here we go. Here's a legit question. Paint says, Mia, what do you think is a pitfall people could avoid when marketing yourself in the miniature world? Just one? Blindly making minis and hoping it will make you money. So you go onto my mini factory and you see that there's a guy who made a goblin pack. He sold 1 million of them, and you think, okay, I'm gonna make a bunch of goblins then. Why? No one gives a shit about your duplicate goblins out there, okay? Nobody cares. and they're not going to care for a while. But if instead you think, man, I love me some goofy little guys, and you make a set of goblins and they are all bomb makers, and so you have a goblin that has a bomb on his head about to explode and he's freaking out, and you have another one that's trying to put bombs together. That is a set that came from passion. Again, passion first, passion then money, okay? That's a set that will get people's attention. Maybe not right away, but if you're creating from things you actually like, there you go. So again, the pitfall for marketing here is just trying to do like a super mega pack because you saw someone else do it, so you're gonna just try to copy it. It's stupid and nobody cares. But think of it this way: if you don't care about your art, why would anybody else? And if you're not passionate about your art, spoiler alert, you're not caring about it. Good question. Man, you are cute. Let's get some more texture on here. John says, Mia, I actually have a small one. And this will not count towards the business questions today because John is a mentorship student. Or so is Paint. So these are freebies so far. These are already paid for. Does that make sense? Because I don't answer stuff for free. But both these people already support me directly. So this is fine. This is covered. John says, I have a small one. Do you factor in the cost of resin when dealing with... you have a typo here. It's okay. When for physical prints, of course, even though it's low, like I think the cost of resin for this is like 11 pennies or something, which obviously this would be more. I just put a default price of like 25 cents, and that's my physical resin cost. But I also factor in IPA, paper towels. I mean, I think about everything, and I round up. I think I round up like $1 for my physical cost for a mini. Curtelli says, my problem has always been traffic, getting an audience that cares. I am tech savvy. I can handle building platforms. I can't figure out how to get propel people to, or get people to the platform. Almost an answerable question. I don't know what you are selling. I don't know what the category is, and I don't know what platforms you're trying to get people on. If I had to guess, it's consistency. I would bet that you are not consistent, or your stuff is not interesting to people enough, which is very subjective. Again, it's not easy out there. I never want anyone to hear an answer I have and think, Mia just said my art was uninteresting. No, I am saying that it wasn't grabbing out there, okay? There are a lot of factors going into print pricing. Also, welcome back, Matt. Welcome back, Matt. Back, Matt. Good to see you. Curtelli says, lol, consistency is a great guess. It's common. You know what's really frustrating about that? If you're super consistent with your art, it's still not a guarantee. It's brutal out there. Curtelli says, I tend to quit if I don't get results right away. That is good that you know that about yourself, and oh yeah, I would say that's a bigger issue to look into than anything else, which probably means that your goals are too big. Oh, I like this. This is interesting. What the user wanted. Oh my gosh. As produced by the programmers. This is art, Foxy. This meme is chef's kiss. Foxy says, Mia, business question. I have a spare $3 or $7 a month. What should I spend it on? For business? I don't know what a notepad and a pencil? Oh, those are my Patreon tiers. Those are the exact same prices as my Patreon tiers. Oh, Foxy, you're cute. Okay, Foxy just being cute. I do have a Patreon. If you want 3D printable models, you can start for as little as $3 a day. Thank you, Foxy. I didn't understand at all. I was like really trying to answer. Oh my god. Hey, just single, welcome in. Yes, new thumbnail. Just for the day. We have a couple new ones that we're gonna be going through now. There we go. Yeah, that was a prompt for Mia to sell her Patreon. Whoops. Man, I think this is looking pretty darn good. Let's move these intestines around and let's get some vomit going. Cartelli said, let's say I want to start selling models and FDM prints. What's the best bang for your buck platform to try and build an audience? Not an answerable question. FDM, I don't know of what, models of what, and then FDM prints, I don't even think there's a market for that. Unless it's like dice towers and stuff. But nobody wants FDM minis. Not that I've seen. So, and again, it's so tricky. It's like fantasy and creatures, etc. Again, super broad. Are they grimdark? Are they high fantasy? Is this wargaming? Is this D&D? See, that's what I'm talking about. It's so tricky asking an answerable question, right? If your question is that broad to start with, it's going to make it so difficult to zero in on an attack plan. Yeah. Not selling the stuff, but building, raising awareness. You build a customer base by making sales. I don't care if I had an Instagram with 1 million followers. If you guys look at my social media, I have like no social media following. I have like I think I've just passed 1,000 on Instagram. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. I made an audience by making sales. It's all about sales, baby. It's about nothing else. Seriously, it's like, well, I can't make sales. People aren't seeing my audience or seeing my stuff. Again, you don't need hundreds and thousands of people seeing your stuff to make a sale. My mini factory and cults are great places to start, to some extent, Creality. And then posting consistently. I'd say post a model in there every single day. You should have a backlog, get something built up. As you build up more sales, you will have a repertoire of customers and emails that you have there. And then you can like do discounts, do sales, that kind of stuff. Or sorry, sales of a sale. It's very confusing. I mean like making a sale versus running a discount. It's the same word. Very confusing. Kurteli said, I'm typing like a stupid person today. Sorry. No, it's okay. It's hard to word these things. It is. Yeah. The back fat. Isn't it nice? Kurteli said, I just got a printer a month ago. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it. And that's very, very common. I mean, think like, what do you want? Do you want initiative trackers? Do you want status tokens or like the rings? I mean, like, what would you want? You know, I see it a lot that people will buy tools and then try to stuff money making things into it, which is weird. You should have identified, should is a stupid word. You can identify things that you would want and then solve that problem with tools. Don't buy tools and try to find problems. You can do that, but it's much harder. I have a living doing this because I am obsessed with designing. Hey, thank you, Jingle. I'm obsessed with designing characters and interacting with people. I like to perform. But mostly I just wanted to make specific characters and creatures my way. And so I had to buy ZBrush for that. And then I wanted to paint them. So I printed them. This is a common thing too. Empress mentioned sometimes there's like an Orktober or Goblin Mondays, that sort of stuff. Depending on your niche, it could at least get eyes on your work. Absolutely. It can. That's more of a social media game. Again, I find the only thing that makes money is making money. And I mean that very dry. I mean, that's why I like Kickstarter. Even if it's a small project that your funding goal is only $200, that's fine. That's a place to start. So I recently took my pinup business, like pinups with spicy arts. That was secret and not part of my business at all. I did not advertise it on M3DM at all until I revealed that it was me. And I was able to take selling those pinup models from $0 to consistently, I had Kickstarted over 1,000. Okay, but my first one, even though the quality was decent, only made like $300, and I knew it was going to do little because nobody had seen it, right? And then by like the third, fourth, fifth project, I was getting up to almost 2,000. Okay, make projects, sell things, get onto cults, get onto my May factory, have stuff for sale. Posting about it on Instagram or Twitter, no one's gonna see that. And if they do see it, good for you. I never figured that out. Yeah. Now I'm like thinking about intestine textures. No, I think I want more dots. You know, I think the smooth isn't a bad idea, and then people can make it all shiny and disgusting. I think she's done. I've just been kind of staring at this for a little bit. I enjoy the business talks. I do. I also am curious. I think there's a misconception on how I make money. It's feet pictures. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, I don't make money because I'm selling models, guys. I know you're like, well, then what is it? I make money because I have over a fucking 1,000 of them. You can get access to all of them for $7. That's why I make money. And it's like, okay, so do I have to make 1,000 models before I make any money? No, not necessarily, obviously. But like, I pretty much have like a Netflix subscription thing going on where like, if you need a model, I probably have it. Yeah, it's like the convenience. I don't sell one-offs, you know? I have something that will probably fit your game, and that is valuable. This specific model here is not going to make me very much money, but it goes into the vault, and that's the thing that I sell. Does that make more sense? Recently, I've kind of figured out model sales, but again, I make about $1,000 a month between all my individual model sales. $12,000 a year is nothing to live on. That's a small part of my income, okay? Most of it is through Patreon, again, monthly subscriptions of people like, oh, I know Mia puts out good work every Monday and has done that for almost 7 years. That's what people are buying into. I love that. Foxy said, I would suggest that consistency is important. Try again. Fail towards success. Absolutely. Like, there are so many things that I did that did not work that, I mean, you guys don't know about because it didn't work, so I stopped doing it. Ah, yes, and the money laundering. Thank you, Loa. That too. Matt has a great point here. Social media is a hit and miss, and also the time investment of editing videos and such can usually be better use, right? I have a friend who does print/paint services, and they just stream. Absolutely. And again, you have to like what you're doing. I know I say that a lot, but I'm trying to like harp on that. Like, don't make social media videos because you think it's gonna make you famous. Make social media because you already like video editing or you think that's fun. I did this for a hot minute before I tried to monetize it. If nobody is asking where to buy your stuff, then maybe you should focus on your craft first. So is streaming where your Patreon audience comes from? Oh God, no. No. This is a thing that I did very, very recently. My Patreon audience came from Thingiverse, primarily. I don't know, is Thingiverse even still around, guys? This is where I got my start. I posted stuff for free on Thingiverse because everything here is free. And then I had a Patreon link. This is how I built it. And my stuff was really good. And so people were shocked that it was free, and they found out they can get more of my stuff for not free. That looks very similar to the cute little thing that I just made. I like it. I started here and I'd share prints on Reddit. Here's the thing with Reddit. Reddit is a great job of bullshit detector. When I was just a cute little artist on Reddit and I'm like, hey, look at my thing. People were like, wow, good job. Here's money. We want to support you. And then they could like tell when I made that transition from just like cute little artist to like businesswoman. Okay. I'm making, it's so tacky to talk about money. I make a living, a full-time living. My husband and I, supports us. They could like smell it and there's like blood in the water. And they were like, no, now we hate you. No, I'm joking. But seriously, then it's like, you need to figure out yourself with the sales that you had made, then move on from that. If you don't have a full business Reddit can be a great place to share your stuff and be like, hey, I'm trying it out. But if you're just doing it to make money, they can like smell the desperation and the panic over the passion. So make sure you're passion forward. Be a dork, be cheesy, be lame, be the things that drew you to the hobby that you really enjoy. Like, I really dork out over the small details. Like, I really enjoyed like her busted teeth and her intestines and like, look at her back fat. Aw, like I love that. Like I love these little details and like grossness and like, that's why I do what I do. I would be doing this even if I didn't make any money. Okay? That's what it really comes down to. Not as often, that's for sure. Be you. Exactly. Absolutely. Matt has some great advice here too. Yeah. Back that. To Empress, I feel like you were the Beyonce of the tavern. I love that. Love that. Don't be a stinky, desperate artist. They can smell it on social media. And if you can't not be a spaz, you need to refine the passion. Otherwise, you're gonna burn out anyway. Right now, I'm getting her ready for post prep. So let's get this ready for Character Creator 4. I rigged this because I want a couple different poses of grossness here, and I'll add the vomit after the fact. There we go. We have a budget of 300,000 polys for Character Creator. The more polys, more problems, but also the more processing power required. So you don't want to blow up Character Creator. So this was currently 1.2 million points. It doesn't need to be that much. So I'm bringing that down to 25,000 points. It's going to look pretty much exactly the same, but then it's going to play well with Character Creator. Matt mentioned, yeah, Mia, I've been offering advice and workshopping things with my friend, Good Enough Painting, for like 4 years now. So I've done a lot of brainstorming on the topic. And it's a really meaty topic to get into. That's why I like it so much. I think it's like a nice big problem. I think something that honestly kind of annoys me, I shouldn't share that. Oh well, I already did. With artists that want to get into business, is that they see it's like art and making money, and then like the business aspect is just this obstacle in between them and making money with their art, when they're the same thing. Like I like business. I think it's cool to figure out like what sales can be successful and like the psychology behind it and what perceived value is versus actual value, and then how to market that. Like, it's a fun game to me to figure it out. If you go into it being like, fucking business, and then like, why is my business failing? It's like, what do you think? Your attitude sucks. You gotta lighten up. And if that's not for you, that's a-okay. I have some friends that, I have two, which is not a lot in this case, but it feels like a lot. I know two people that went through vet school and became a vet, okay? And they became a vet, and one of them was horrified to find out that being a vet is actually a lot about running a business, you know, unless you work for a company, which again can also suck, or a clinic. And needless to say, one of them quit, and one of them is still doing it. And it's the one that had always had an interest in business that did well with it. There is no easy making money, and if you hate the process of making money, you don't do art for money. That's okay. Just let it be a hobby. But otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And even if you do have a good attitude, you might not succeed, okay? But I know for sure you won't if you go into it thinking, fucking art business. I can't spell intestine. Let's put 3 T's in there. Ember says, also, with any form of self-employment, you will encounter the business aspect. Exactly. Matt says, Mia, speaking of good enough, he had a license, they're perpetual, so he still has it. A license to Babe Beast models. Oh, good. Those were good seller pids for a while. I thought I recognized the name. I think he's tagged me in some stuff that he's painted. Very good. Yeah. Lots of great chat here. This is fantastic. Yes. Okay, Aloha, I think you had one of the best transitions from like art and small like big personal projects that were just for you to commission work. That was pretty awesome. Aloha says, others pushed me to try business stuff because I was just doing it to get better and have fun. And because of your attitude and the way that you were, you had a very successful jump into commission work. People could feel that. You didn't have the desperate stink on you. You had the passion stink. Good stink. There we go. And Foxy said, I could never freelance for a good number of reasons, but mostly because of the security of a salary job. And there's nothing wrong with that. And here's a big clause, everything I'm talking about. My dad is well off. If everything fell apart, I could move back home. I wouldn't want to. I love my dad. But not everyone has that. I know I have a fallback, even if he's 2,000 miles away. I'd have to drive all the way back to California, but I could. And two, I don't want kids. The fact that I don't want children changes all of this. If I had a little Mia screaming in the background, ain't no fucking way I'd be doing this. No way. No. It's Ricky and I. And our dog and our horse. I know I could figure it out. I know I could figure that out. But that's a really important context to put on here, because everyone's got unique circumstances. Yeah, Sater, I get that. Yeah, I get it. Sater says, I'm tired of selling my time to people, feeling my time belongs to them, and they don't care about me or the people I care about. Yeah, it's tough. That sucks. I get you. And Matt says, welcome to capitalism. Yeah. Just do a little dissociation and be like, okay, this is just where I make money and I get no fulfillment or anything else. Next. Oh, that's right. We have the disguise from Chaos. We do not need that anymore. Delete. And don't get me wrong, it's easy to talk about things in broad strokes and like, oh, like don't get caught up in the paranoia. It kind of can feel like the art business world's out to get you sometimes and that nobody cares and blah, blah, blah. It can suck, you know? And being aware of it to some extent is necessary because you don't want to like delude yourself. But you gotta have a firm grasp on reality and not let it consume you. It's very difficult. I just, when in doubt, I see that my bills are paid, put my head down, get to work, and hang out in the tavern. Streaming has definitely been awesome for me. Keeps things fun. Oh, that's cool. Foxy said, I'm paid a reasonable amount for my time. I have good compensation, enjoy my job, and recently the major project I'm working on got several news reports about it. That's awesome, Foxy. I'm proud of you. That's fantastic. Very good. Aloha says, don't worry, Foxy. We will rescue you from your awful secure job. What is that meme of like, you are being rescued. Do not resist. Alright, lots of chatting, lots of good stuff here. Let's see what our poly count is at, and I will be adding the vomit after it is posed. Ooh, we got some color in here apparently. Ew. We're a little over budget, but not too bad. Thought this had subdivision levels. No? Okay. Well, we'll need to reconstruct subdiv, not a big deal. Here's how you add subdivision levels so somebody doesn't have it. First, you take your model, you make a duplicate of it. Next, you're going to put it at your target poly count. I like to decimate to get here, it just makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to show you guys a cool trick about ZBrush and not losing facial definition when ZBrushing. I learned this like last week, so new pro tip coming in. Aloha was like, I know, I'm ready. This is at 3 million points, so it's taking a little bit to get this decimated down. We made some pretty good improvement. It was a nothing burger face when we started the stream. I know I say nothing burger a lot. It's like my new favorite phrase. I will not stop saying it. Alrighty, so we have this, and when we ZBrush, it's going to destroy our beautiful face here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask out loops where I want the topology to go. We're going to mask an inner one for the eye, another one around the whole eye here. So we've got 2 loops. I find 2 usually does a better job, the inside of the eye socket and then the eyelids. We'll do the same thing for the mouth. And then another one for the nose. You'll kind of get like this like clown makeup thing going on. All right, those are the things that I want to mostly stay in place. And now when I go to ZBrush, I'm going to enable groups. And that will mean it's going to try to preserve these groups right here. Because otherwise, when you ZBrush, it just like destroys the whole thing. I'm also going to turn off symmetry because I have asymmetrical details on this model. So ZBrusher, keep groups. Adaptive size at 50 is fine. So the lower the adaptive size number is, the more it's going to just disrespect your details and just blanket it with even topology. It's going to put just an even square-ish shape everywhere on the model. The higher that number is, the more it's going to try to respect the bends and whatnot. So if you're wondering like why don't you just keep it to like 100, I like to have like a balance of it kind of blanketing it and not. Here we go. So that's pretty low res, but do you see how it actually kind of kept the eyeball shape and stuff? It destroyed all my teeth though. I kind of want it higher res than this. So I'm gonna change it from adaptive target count to same. Let's try to keep it around 50,000 points. It kind of went a little too low there. There's Aloha. E. Empress says, oh my god, is this helpful? I hope it's helpful. Empress says, it's perfect for animation now. Oh yes, it is now. Game asset ready. Perfection. Sarcasm. Here we go. Look at that. See, that's a pretty good result, actually. We got some little funny business here. I'm just going to smooth that down. All right, that is what I call... Look at you guys go. Can you tell because I'm in my mentorship program? All right, now I'm going to subdivide this a few times. And I'm going to project the details from the low res onto the high res. It's very important that you have nothing else visible, just those 2. I'm going to click on project. It's probably going to screw up the teeth. Ooh, it did a pretty good job. So here's the before, here's the after. That's actually a pretty decent result. Go up a subdiv, project again. You can project at the highest level right away. I just find that it blows up my mesh sometimes. So I like to do this and just make sure it's behaving. Ooh, it's doing a good job. Yay, I love when things work on stream so I can show you guys what things mean. God, I don't mind when there's problems that I can troubleshoot, but when it's the first time I'm showing something new, I would like if it works. Sounds good, Sater. Thanks for being here. I like that. It's a good note to end on, too. I don't want to be rich. I wouldn't say no to it, but it's not what I'm looking for. I just want to be financially comfortable. Amen to that. Just Lingual says, as a peasant, I plan on staying poor. It's my civic duty. Very good, Just Lingual. All right, we're looking pretty cute here. Here's the before, here's the after. You can see we kind of lost a little bit of resolution around the eyes. Here's before and after, but it's really, really not bad. Also, this topology here was like super busted and gnarly. Let's smooth that down. All right, so when I zoom out, here is the before, here is the after, and now we have subdivs. So pretty happy about that. Neat. We're gonna delete this one. And then check on all these other things. I'm going to inflate the hair just a touch, just make my 3D printing stuff later easier, and bring this down to, let's try 25,000 points. I'm very excited. In a couple hours, it is hay day. We're buying 80 bales of hay, or 83. What is 83 times 50? I'm not great at math, but that's okay. 4,100 pounds, just about. So yes, we'll soon move 4,100 pounds. I'm excited. Just myself, one trip. See these gains? That's looking pretty good. Intestines can be a lower poly count as well. Very nice. So is this supposed to be a super zombie? If so, who did her dye job? It survived death. I feel that. God, I haven't gotten my hair like professionally done in so long. That's okay. I don't know, I feel like no one can cut curly hair and it makes me worried. I'm like, I will just handle it myself. Thanks. All right, let's see where we're at poly count wise. Oh, wow. Perfect. 272,000 points. That's perfect. Nice. Alrighty, let's get a fun little scene. And then thanks for asking a lot of really interesting business questions. If that was not your jam, thank you for being a trooper and listening to us talk about it. 'Cause some of us hang out here to get away from that, and I totally understand. But it also is interesting, and like, you can do it. You can. There you go. Got this all positioned, and then we're gonna get a fun little render happening. No poly paint today because ZBuilder said no. I turned off textures, masking, all kinds of crap, and for some reason the Z tool is just busted with poly paint. It's fine. Not worried about it. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. All right, let's come over here to ambient occlusion to get all of those gnarly, gross details in. My favorite. There we go. Matt said, I can move 4,100 pounds of hay. I just need a few gallons of gasoline to match a shovel and a wheelbarrow. This is true. You were not wrong, I guess. Wouldn't recommend it. Hashtag bring back Bond. Yeah, forget Bond Ricky. All right, here is our fancy little render. Very nice, very guts. Let's go ahead and save this. And again, she will be vomiting. We're gonna add that after the fact. Pretty much gonna make like a fountain coming out of her mouth. It's gonna hit the base. Yeah, it's just it's just my day job. All right, that's looking good. Let's move this up here. I got a wall of sticky notes and how I organize everything. Very fancy. Emperor says, ooh, that's a nice render, isn't it? And it's so funny that like, you guys see it. Some days it comes out really cool, other days it comes out fine. Oh my god, I love this. It says, wow, you've been playing that game all day. You must really like it. And I look over to them, despondent. I've done that so many times. Like if I get stuck in a game, I don't just like move on. I'm like, it's like the opposite of rage quit. It's like rage focus. And I'm like, which is funny. You think I would do well with Souls-likes. Souls-likes just stress me out so much. Anyway, that's great. That's great. Or they're just like full on dissociating. You know, there's all kinds of fun ways you can take that. Anyway, let's take a screenshot for the day. Let's get our empty, sad chaos wheel out of here. Actually, I didn't mind. We're too focused today. No chaos, just business. All right, and smile. Gorgeous. What band? Record of art. Let's go ahead and save our female guest zombie. And then we'll upload this. This is going to go into Character Creator 4. If you're wondering, why, Mia, do you never show us Character Creator 4? Because it works on Windows only. I don't know. Take it up with them. I'm on a Mac right now. So it goes into the Google Drive to get downloaded by my husband. And then we will process later. Oh my god, what is this? Mia and Ricky purchasing 5,000 pounds of hay with their really cool 100% off coupon. A loaded rifle. Christ. That's a really cool exploitive view of a gun. Why are we bee rebelling? It's been so good. Oh, because I said you guys were not being chaotic. I should know better. Also, I post-processed a ton of models without you guys, so we're gonna do a real quick speed review, okay? Okay. Let me see them finished. All right, here is the Faye child that you guys never got to see finished. Isn't she pretty? I am so proud of this model. Oh my goodness. Like, man, don't look at her armpit. But yeah, wow. Gorgeous. Very happy with this model. I'll leave these up for at least, I don't know, 20 seconds each so you guys can enjoy them. These will be releasing on Patreon in the next week or so. Mia must have 900 terabytes of space. For what? But yeah, there is her. Matt says that is adorable. Isn't she? I love this model. Yeah, she's a cutie patootie. Speaking of, I have it on very secret authority that our rare tier on Patreon will be going on sale soon. So, $7 is already a ridiculous deal, but it will be $5 soon. If you want to make requests though, just jump the legendary tier. It's so freaking worth it. And I'm like really getting through requests. I'm like averaging more than 10 a month, which means like over 100 requests getting done a year. Pretty awesome. My goal is to hit 200. I think we're getting close to that actually. Total count, not per year. So there is her, very adorable. Why are there bees everywhere? Stop. All right, I'm going to ignore all the bees everywhere. Oh, speaking of bees, that did happen during our initial Chaos Monday when we're making our polymorph victim. Yeah. Speaking of, the polymorph victim has been fully posed. I think you guys are going to love these poses. There's the Ghast. There's Aloha. We also made Aloha into a Taver pet if you guys missed that. This is my mod, Aloha, 100% accurate. Truly, I have no idea what Aloha looks like in real life. Speaking of, I was asking Ricky, I'm like, what do you think Aloha looks like? And without missing a beat, Ricky's like, I think Aloha's bald. Aloha, to me, you are both two things at the same time. You're both like this greasy cave goblin, like gamer guy, you know, like think of your classic, and like enchanting fae elf. Depending on the way you're talking, you shapeshift back and forth in between them. And that is truly how I visualize you. If it's a Torben comet, neckbeard. You're being a gremlin. If it's really anything else, you have like really good business advice and like sweet things to share. You're like this like super ethereal fae elf. Think like Legolas from Lord of the Rings. Anyway, I'm not going to read what you're going to say in response to that. We are moving on to... Oh yeah, the Necro Ham. This is our Necromancer hamster. I know, guys, I processed so many models without you. I'm so sorry. So here's one of his poses. Isn't he cute? Look at him cast. Got two poses for him. One that's a little bit more chill. Really weirdly angry fist. And then what? Matt says, Mia, I'm sure you've answered this, but how do you come up with the dynamic poses you use for your models? In the beginning, I would just stand in front of a mirror and literally move. I have a broom that we kept exclusively in our studio for a long time, and the broom would be like any staff, any most weapons, I could use a broom. Anyway, and I would just move until I saw something that was cool. And then now in Character Creator, there's animations you can play, and we'll just like have an animation play, and we'll pause it at frames that seem appealing, and then we'll edit it from there. Yeah, right? Why is this so intense? Very mad. Arthur, classic. My senior quote in high school, because you can put a senior quote, was from Arthur, which is, having fun isn't hard when you have a library card. And it's because it's a whole song, and Arthur, he actually raps it. My school made a huge fucking deal that you could not put song lyrics as your senior quote. And I was like, now I have to find a song for my senior quote that they won't know that it's a song. And of course they don't, because it's Arthur. But yeah, you should look it up. It's Having Fun Isn't Hard. We've got a library card from Arthur, and it is a wrap. All right, here are the polymorph victim poses. On one pose, I like to think that he deserved it, and on the other one, he did not. So here's our polymorph victim where he did not deserve it, and I actually feel really bad for him. This is kind of sadder than I anticipated it being. And then here is like he was just found cheating on his girlfriend, and he absolutely deserved it, and he's a jerk. I like that one side's angry and one side's being less angry because it's starting to sheepify. And how angry can a sheep really be? But yes, here are those poses. And then someone new here, Rogueblock, have you modeled the entire cast of Redwall yet? I have no idea what you're talking about. Your start is inauspicious. Yeah, the Necro Hamster is cute. Thank you, Jislingual. How do I visualize Satyr? I actually do know what Satyr looks like, so he was pretty spot on. Beautiful. I'm gonna look that up. I don't know what that is. It's a show from 1999. Oh, and they're cute. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. I get like crazy off-topic comments all the time, so I was suspicious of you. But this is redeeming. This is cute as heck. Look at them all. Yeah. Cute. Is there a general Discord or is it only for patrons? It used to be only for patrons, but I've opened it up to my live stream Tavern Peasants because I think you guys are great. So, invite. Matt says, my wife loves Redwall. Read all the books as a kid. Honestly, I might now too, because that is cute as heck. I really like what I saw. But so, have you modeled the entire cast Redwall yet? I haven't modeled any though. What a crazy first comment. How about hello? I'm new here. But yes, Curtelli, if you're not already in our Discord, join us. Join us, join us. Alrighty. And then I think you guys are caught up to all the models I have done recently. You'll see them when I release them on Patreon anyway. But I like to make sure we are up to date in the Taverb as well. This is our latest epic. This was the Splendor. Very proud of this one. Ooh, I do not like that render though. Ugh. The best preview render is not best at all. Just work from the render set. It always does a better job, I swear. Do I have a character with a hand fan? Yes, I do. I have a couple. I have my human noble. I have her. Very cute. I use a fabric sim. This is one of the few models that I have a fabric sim on the bottom. And fabric simulation. And then I have another one, which is a construct bard, and she is like inspired from you know, like I can remember what it's called, like I think it's Japanese, where like something will break and they'll put it back together and they'll paint the seams gold. But yes, I have her as well, and she has a different hand fan and also a lyre on her back because she's a bard. But yeah. Jislingual says, I plan on printing and painting the Splendor as soon as possible. I'm so happy you said that. Thank you, thank you. I talked a little bit about Splendor first thing. It was a really good model for me. And I kind of got in my head over it a little bit, but obviously I succeeded. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. How do I make the fan? Oh, sure, I'll show you guys. So we're gonna just slide into happy hour right now. I'm not gonna go on break quite yet. I might not do a break today. I might just go straight into happy hour and then stream over for Friday. All right, so a fan, let's just take this cylinder. We're gonna make polymesh 3D. Why that isn't like that by default, I don't know. All right, so for a fan, I like to just take a shape like this. How do I want to do this? I could use radial symmetry actually. That's not how I used to do it. 1 second, processing. It's pretty much just damn standard. Go ahead and turn on radial symmetry. This is not how I did that other fan, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, this would have been so much easier. Get the rough fan shape that you want, something kind of like this. And then using radial symmetry and damn standard, you can just drag in a cut really deep like that, and then again, back and forth. And that's pretty much how I made it. Obviously this needs to be cleaned up, and the center line is in the wrong spot. So it'd be more like this. But that's pretty much how I made those fans. It's just damn standard and radial. Watcha. Hello, it says Mia. When do you want to do the next mystery stream, by the way? Would it be next month? No, we should do one every month, if that's okay. Oh wait, did we do one in July? Did we miss July? Panic. If you missed July, we should do it soon. But no, if you're ready, I'm down to do one on the 14th. If the 14th is a Threm day. You guys have me chronically saying Threm instead of stream. Alrighty, let me look at my calendar. The 14th is a stream day. It is a Thursday. Does next week work for you? Because if you need more time, I don't mind. Foxy says, Mia, may I ask for the render to share with my GM of my game? Sure. I don't want to know what they think about it though, because it's not exact to what they wanted, and I know that. That was part of the crisis I had. I'm gonna put this in the Discord. It sure looks cool, but it is not exact. How can I not remember if we missed July or not? I don't know. I have no concept of time sometimes. I see that Miss Empress DM'd me. Let me see if they got some work to review. Ooh, that's a good update. Ooh, you totally reworked everything. Oh, cool. I like the update. Just keep on going. I got inspired by Mortal Kombat 2. Just keep cooking. That's fantastic. I don't want to get you too stuck on anything because it's gone through so many iterations. It's not much. It looks really different. It looks really good. Any questions for happy hour? It's going to be a shorter stream, but still 2 hours. Ooh, I have a DM from my mods that I missed. I think it's been there for like 2 hours. It's just Sater being like, thanks for the warning, because I didn't say the thumbnail changed, so he's like, I almost missed it. Hey, Rodolfo's back. Hello, hello. How have you been? We have a bit of a shorter stream here today. Worked on a zombie. It's a Barrowghast. She was fun. And then I've been reviewing work that I did recently as we're kind of wrapping up. John says, Mia, I forgot to thank you for the mushroom staff feedback. I'm adding mushrooms to it now. Oh, mushroom staff. Magic stuff. Very good, very good. And again, I really liked what you had already. I just knew that you'd benefit for some extra practice and some delicious secondary forms. Duke says, I feel robbed. I got dragged away to do work and missed most of the stream. It happens. I will be back next week. Don't you worry. Aw, thank you so much, Aloha. I appreciate that. This one came together so fast. Again, I just kind of chaos put it together in an hour from the base shapes. And I don't know. I think this design is Confusopoly. It reminds me of a sketch. Because before you do line art, a sketch is like so much more fun to look at because your brain kind of fills in where you want those lines to be. And that's kind of what I did with this in 3D, where it's like, you want a shape? I gave it to you. Again, I am proud of this, but it is not refined. It is epic and it is interesting. But yes. That's gonna be a really fun one to paint. How many legs were too many legs? Good lord. I'm debating what I'm going to do right now. Again, I got a couple hours before I need to go pick up hay. Literally, it's hay day. I think that's a good stream. It was a dense one, and I'm okay with that. That's a question for James Cameron. Very fair. Touche. I think this is approaching too many legs, but I do quite like it. I'm really proud of the head. The head was a fun one. That's where we spent most of the stream time on. And putting the eyes so far down the snout, I wasn't sure about, but it really worked out well. I feel like monsters have always been an easier one for me to do because you can get kind of messy with the forms versus like characters or things, like especially anything pretty. Oh my goodness. Like that pinup that we did, I tried to sculpt from scratch, or did not try. I did. That was tricky. It is true. Alrighty, y'all. I am pretty sure I'm gonna call it good. It was a very productive week. Very proud. Let me show you guys my chaos wall of. That's what I'll leave you with. If you want to know how organized I am, I use spreadsheets too, but I also just move stuff in sticky notes. This is a secret project you can't see, and that was filled up, but now it's all up there because I finished it. So, neato. Got things done. I always have different systems for moving, like tracking what I have done and not done. I have really nice spreadsheets in Google Drive. Every now and then, there's something about like a physical sticky note and just putting it up. I don't know, it's very satisfying. I think that's a wrap. I know it's kind of a shorter stream, but yeah. Shh, Aloha. See, Aloha, that's what I mean. That's like a gremlin comment. You're gremlining. But this one right here, huge step up for me with this one. Deserves a pin. That's like ethereal. Yeah, nice energy. Okay. Fratelli says, thank you for answering my dumb, poorly typed out questions. Thank you for being a good sport when you ask a question and I'm like, that's unanswerable. And then I would continue to talk. I don't know, like a lot of credit due when we talk about business and crunchy stuff here and money, especially in art. It gets very philosophical and it can be a sensitive topic. And I don't know everything, but sometimes the way that I talk, I'm worried to come across overconfident. It's very easy to change my mind with new evidence. Okay. But anyway, you were a super good sport about Critelli and everyone enjoyed what we were talking about. So yes. I love how we have that. And then we have Ricky feet in the comment. Okay. Allows it. Okay, but being a gremlin and being a greasy neckbeard is not the same. Okay, you're right. I do not think that you are the size of the whole chair and Zitty. I mean, you can be whatever you want. Not the I hurt Aloha's feelings. It's okay. And signing us off with how make money with art. Thank you, Foxy. I think that will be a wrap for us. To all my students, if you guys message me with questions, I might get to them today, but if not, I will get to y'all on Monday like normal. I've been establishing normal, healthy work boundaries and not answering student questions at Saturday at 11 at night. Yay. Yay me. All right, y'all. Take care. Have a fantastic, restful weekend. Even aloha. And I'll see you guys Monday, okay? All right. Take care. Bye.